Alright, welcome back again. Part 2 of using the fantastic MODx Boilerplate. Thanks so much for all the positive reactions on my first part of the video. I got a lot of positive reactions on my website, so thanks a lot for that. Let's get started right away. What we did last time is we installed a website. You don't actually see anything yet. And this is the back end, and there's nothing yet on the home screen. What we're going to do now, last time we also downloaded the boilerplate from Smooth Graphics. We downloaded it and added it to our code. So now it has a favicon, these icons, and it has a template called main with some nice CSS in it. We used the flexible CSS Grid. So let's first start by adding some content to our website, because we don't see anything yet. So let's just call this, the title is home, that's fine. And let's say this is the main page. Let's just do that. Refresh, and we have the content there. Okay, the first thing we need to do, we downloaded the boilerplate, but if you go to Elements, Templates, we don't actually have our template net yet, so we have to create a new one. So first create a new template, call it main, I'm going to call it our main template as a description, and as a category I'm going to add a new category. I'm going to call it template. Save. So now I have to save first, and now we can select template, so it's nicely categorized. Okay, here we have several options. You could, if you want to, just simply paste all our template code right in here. It works, it's fine, but I don't like to edit my code in this screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the header, the footer, and the content. That's already done by the template. If you go to Assets, Templates, Main, you see a site header, footer, and site template. If you open the site template, it will show you that it will call the site header and the footer, so it will insert that code as long as you create it, and this should be our code. So normally we would do this: copy this code, simply paste it in. That will work. I'm not going to do that first. Save it. But now it doesn't have anything yet, it just adds the content. So we need to add our site header. How do we do that? Well, we need to add a chunk. So copy this name, site header, go to Elements and New Chunk, click, paste it in, template header I'm going to call it. It's category template again. Now go to our code again, open the site header in your Notepad or any other code, simply select all of it, copy it, and paste it in here, and save. And in my screen it adds a question mark here. I don't know why. I have to save it a second time before it, so it doesn't do that anymore. I have no idea why that is. It might be a small bug. Please check that. Okay, so now we have a template header. We're going to add another chunk, new chunk. And you're probably going to guess what it's going to be. It's going to be a site footer, template footer. It's the category template. Go to our code again, open the site footer, select all, copy it, and paste it in and save. And for some reason on my screen it will add a question mark again. I'm not sure if this is a big bug. Please check it. Save. Okay, now if we go to our page again, we now have our own template, which we can select right here. We can select, instead of the base template, we can select main, our main template. yes, I want to change, save it, and if we refresh, you see a little bit of a change. But if we check out the code, we should see a lot. We have a header, and our HTML has a lot of classes. That's because of this. Let me show you. Site header. In our header we don't really see that much of a classes, but we have a JavaScript file which is called Modernizer. Modernizer adds a lot of classes to your header, and with these classes, you can decide which CSS things or HTML5 things you can use. So if it says no CSS animations, then my browser does not support CSS animations. But if it says opacity or let's see, canvas, my browser, which is Firefox 4, it supports the canvas. So that's really useful. In IE6 you would see a lot of no's, but if you have that class, you can target that. So that's useful. That's Modernizer. That's part of the boilerplate. And we see, well, basic stuff: a title, meta content, keywords. They're not filled in yet, but we could generate those if you want to. The keywords here. We have a favicon. We have Google Analytics. All kinds of stuff. So let's check out. But this is actually not the way I would like it to work, because if I go to Elements again and to our chunk, we have chunks here under Templates. For instance, we have our header. This is our header code, and I don't really want to change that in this screen. I prefer to work here, and if I save it here, I want to have it instantly saved online. So let's find out the way how to do that. I created a post about that a long time ago. Include template HTML code dynamically in MODx Revolution. Simply open this, and this is a simple snippet. And what we have to do is go to our so copy this code, go to our backend, and create a snippet, new snippet. Paste the code in, and call it include template with a capital T and no space. Include template HTML. I'm going to call it like that. I'm going to give it a template category again. What this does, it checks the template name and it goes to your template file, to the root assets templates. That's where I put our template code. If I open it, you will see here assets templates, and this is our template name, and it will search for that. So just save this, and now we can do something else in our site header. Open the site header chunk, go to my post again, scroll down a bit, you will see another source code. You get this code. Copy it, select all of the code in the site header chunk, paste it in, and you just have to check this. Here it's called my template, but in our case it's called main. So that's the name, and if you go to your code again, our code we want to include as the header is this site header. So instead of base template, I'm going to call it site header.html. So this is the code that will include dynamically our header code. Save it again, clear our cache, site, clear our cache, and if we refresh, nothing should change. We should still have our header, same code, but it's included dynamically. So if I just make a mistake here, let's simply add some stupid code, and if I clear our cache, it adds that code, as you can see. So now we don't have to change our code or copy paste it anywhere. So I really like to use that. Let's do the same for the footer. So if we go back to our code, just copy this for our header chunk, go to our site footer, select all, remove it, insert it in, and replace header with footer HTML. Save. And let's do the same for our template code. Go to main, and instead of this code, simply paste in this. And our template is simply called site template. So instead of site header, this is called site template. Save. Clear our cache, and we should still see the same stuff instead of the rubbish. Alright, so now we have the basics installed, but we don't actually see our boilerplate working yet. So let's take a look at our boilerplate itself, and let's see what we're going to use and what we're not going to use. In the top here, it adds a header dependent on if it's an Internet Explorer header or not, the browser. I like to keep this. This is really useful, especially for bug fixes. If you have Internet Explorer 6, it will give a class of Internet Explorer 6 in your HTML. If it's Internet Explorer 7, it will have Internet Explorer 7, and so on. It's really useful. The next one, doc type. Well, that's useful. The base URL is our website URL. That's also useful. MODx charset, that's automatically generated. Very useful. This one you can remove probably, because we are using htaccess. So in MODx I'm going to use this, remove this one. Our title is automatically generated by our site name with a dash and then our page title. This is kind of a common way of doing it. If you want to change it, you're free to do it, of course. I really like it that it's automatically generated by MODx. RSS feed, if you have it, you can use it. I'm going to remove it for this website, but you can use it if you want. Description can be useful. I suggest you keep it for now, these, and if you want to change them later, you can. Robots.txt, well, this is fine. We can remove this. This will allow everything to all the Google robots to find this website. We're working on localhost now, so this is not relevant at the moment, and I prefer personally to use a robots.txt file. You can remove it or keep it, whatever you want. We're not using multiple domains, so I'm going to remove this one. If you are, please check it out. These can be useful, but the favicon, let's check where it is. We need to check our path. So if we go to our code and go to new site, we can see that the favicon is actually in our root new site. So for us, in my case, I can remove my path because it's simply there, and Apple Touch icon the same way, it's there. Okay, this is some web font script. I personally am not going to use web fonts, so I'm removing it. If you are, please take a look at it and find out. This is useful, I think, for mobile devices to have the correct scale and the correct density. I just like to keep this. If you have any problems with it, you can remove it, of course. CSS style sheet. This is correct. Templates, main, CSS. Yeah, this is fine. And here we have different style sheets dependent on with what machine you are watching it. So if somebody goes to your website on their iPhone 4, it will use the basic styles as well as these. And this can be really useful. For this demo, I'm going to remove this code because it's kind of complicated. I'm going to make a different screencast about this, I think. So I'm going to remove these media queries, but they can be really useful, so please keep them in mind. And Modernizer, I already explained a little bit. Always keep this. This is extremely useful. Our header. Here we can put our navigation in a minute. I'm going to show you. Okay, our site template doesn't have anything. It's simply content with a header and a footer. We're going to change that in a minute. And our site footer, what's in here? Well, PIWIK website analytics. I actually don't use that, and I don't know what it is for, to be honest. But if you like to use it, please do. Google Analytics. JQuery.